Hello student, myself Jnandeep Baviskar, lecturer in Viva College of Diploma Engineering and Technology, Virar, from the Department of Mechanical Engineering. Today we will learn about the subject of Power Plant Engineering, which is elective one of the 5th semester for the mechanical stream. The code of the subject is 22566. Now we will see the teaching and examination scheme of the subject. The total weightage of the subject is 150 marks and it is divided into two parts. One is a theory part and second is a practical. The theory parts cover the 100 marks where the 70 marks actual theory written paper at the end semester exam and 30 marks for the progressive assessment, which includes the unit test and the micro project marks. And the another 50 marks includes 25 marks for the end semester exam and 25 marks for the manual correction or manual assessment. Now we will see the course outcome. Means what? What are the major outcomes of the subject? The first is identify the various components of the power plant. Second one, to select the high pressure boilers which are used in the power plant for the power generation. Third one is to measure the waste heat recovery in typical thermal power plant. Fourth one, to identify the components of the nuclear power plant. And the last one is to estimate the economic parameter of the power plant, which is very essential for the power plant. So these are the general 5 type of outcomes for the power plant engineering. Now next is the contents of the subject. Means what? The chapters or the units which are included in this subject are, total number of chapters are 6 chapters. First one, introduction to the power plant, which carries the 12 marks. In it, in introduction of power plant, there is a importance of power plants, types of power plants, hydroelectric power plants, its classification, arrangement and the principle, similarly to the diesel power plant. The second chapter is high pressure boiler. It also carries the 12 marks. In this chapter, there are types of high pressure boilers. There are fluidized bed combustion boilers, comparison of various types of boilers, and the Indian Boiler Act and the maintenance procedure for the boiler includes. Chapter 3rd includes, that is, the steam and the gas power plant. It carries the 14 marks. It also includes the various types of steam power plants, its classification principle, components, various types of control system. Similarly for the gas turbine, open cycle, closed cycle, constant pressure gas turbine power plant, etc. The fourth one is a waste heat recovery and the cogeneration. It carries the 8 marks. In it, waste heat recovery in thermal power plants includes, that is, its need. What is the need of the waste heat recovery? What are the opportunities for the waste heat recovery, and what are the general present practices for the waste heat recovery? The next one is nuclear power plant. It also carries the 12 marks. In nuclear plant, there is a general arrangement, operating principle, nuclear fuels, reactors, its advantages and disadvantages, and also the general introduction to the regulating agencies or the regulations for the atomic energy. And the last one is economic analysis of the power plant, which also carries the 12 marks. It includes estimation of the production of the cost of the electrical energy in various types of power plant, or the estimation of the various parameters, and the factors affecting on the choice of the power plant. So this includes in the subject, that is in all these 6 chapters. Now we start the first chapter, that is Introduction to the Power Plant. So the economic growth of any nation essentially results into the growth of the growth in the power sector. So power sector is very important for any country. Generally, the power plant engineering is defined as it is the engineering technology required for the production of the central station electrical power, and it is generally a interdisciplinary field of mechanical plus electrical engineering. So generally, while starting the first chapter, that is Introduction to the Power Plant, we know the first law of thermodynamics, that is energy cannot be created nor destroyed. However, it can be converted into one form to the another form of the energy. So this law is used here, that we convert the mechanical energy, or you may say first the if you we see the hydroelectric power plant, then we first convert potential energy into the mechanical one, and then mechanical energy converted into the electrical one. So generally generators are used here to convert the mechanical energy into the electrical energy. Also, the second law of thermodynamics is also very important for the power plant engineering point of view. So that is, entropy of a closed system can never decreases. Entropy of a closed system can never be decreases, as the law relates to the power plant engineering. So power plants are nothing but the electricity generating station with the help of various energy resources. Primary energy resources are those which are found or stored in a nature, like coal, oil or gas. So globally, primary energy resources consumed to meet the increasing demands of the energy. Power plant engineering covers the broad spectrum of engineering disciplines like mechanical, electrical, nuclear and civil engineering. Next is the importance of the power plant. Electric power considered as a heart of any industry, so it is very important. Electricity is also used for our day-to-day life, for lighting, heating, cooking and etc. So it is necessary to produce electricity in large scale, and it should be economical. It is very important, this point. It is necessary to produce the electricity in large scale, and it should be economical. And energy resources and power plays again the important role in any country's economical growth. The next topic is classification or the types of the power plant. So it is generally classified into four major types. First one is on the basis of the sources of the energy, and on this topic or under this type, again there are several types are divided, that is steam power plant, hydroelectric power plants, nuclear power plants, gas, diesel, nuclear, etc. Second one, on the basis of the conventional and non-conventional energy resources. It also include thermal power plants, hydropower plant, nuclear. These are conventional and non-conventional like tidal, wind, solar and geothermal. Third major type is on the basis of the nature of the load. It also divided into again three types: peak load, base load and standby load. The last one is on the basis of the location. So that is the location, that is the central power station or isolated power station. So this is the general classification or types of the power plants. Now we see the detailed classification of hydroelectric power plant. Hydroelectric power plant is also again divided into four major types. First one, according to the water head available, means what? Under the head or the height of the head, it is classified. So it is again divided into three types: high head power plants, medium head power plants, and low head hydropower plants. But for high head, it works under a head of more than 100 meter. In medium head, it works under the head of 40 to 100 meter, and in low head, it works under the head of the lower than 40 meter. The second type is again measured according to the discharge quantity. It is again divided into three types: pumped storage plant, second one runoff river plants, and third one is a storage reservoir. Third type is according to the type of small hydroelectric power plants. It divided again into two types: mini hydropower plant and micro hydroelectric power plant. In mini hydropower plant, its range between a high of 10 megawatt to the 10 megawatt and that is a low of 100 kilowatt. And in micro hydroelectric power plant have a capacity of under 100 kilowatt only. So under 100 kilowatt there is a micro, and from 10 megawatt to 100 kilowatt there is a mini hydroelectric power plant. And the last one is according to the nature of the load, that is again the base load and peak load power plant. So this is the general classification in detail we see for the hydroelectric power plant. Now the next is, that is first power plant is hydroelectric power plant. So the potential energy of the water is utilized to run the turbine, which in turn to run the electric generators to convert the mechanical energy of the turbine into electric energy. The water is collected and artificially stored by constructing dams across the flowing streams. The potential energy of the water is converted into the mechanical energy and ultimately into the electrical energy. In next slide, that is the layout of the hydroelectric power plant. It shows the general arrangement of the hydroelectric power plant, that is it shows the reservoir, dam, control gate, penstock, powerhouse, turbine, the major part of the plant, generator is also important, and the transformers. So this is the general layout of the hydroelectric power plant. Next is components of the hydroelectric power plants. What are the major components of the hydroelectric power plants are? First one is a reservoir. That a reservoir is provided to store the water during rainy season and supplies the same in dry season. A large amount of water is collected during the rainy season in reservoir behind a dam, and the water from the reservoir is used to run the hydraulic turbine. Second one, dam. Dam is constructed across a river to store the water, so it acts as also a water reservoir, and it is constructed with the RCC work. It provides the necessary potential energy to nozzle the turbine. The next component is a strash rack. Generally it is made of steel bars, and it is provided to prevent the entry of the debris into the intake from the dam or from the forebay. The next one is a gate. The gate is provided for controlling the flow of water from reservoir to a hydraulic turbine through the penstock. It is closed when maintenance system is required. The next one is a surge tank. That surge tank is used to provide the better regulation of water pressure in the system whenever it is needed. Means what it also minimizes the water hammer effect. The working of surge tank is discussed we later in the next article. Then next one is a penstock. The penstock is used to carry the water from dam to the powerhouse. It includes canal from penstock. It is generally a closed pipe. Penstock is a circular pipe having very long length let down from the dam up to the turbine room. Penstock carries the water under pressure from water stored in a dam or reservoir. It is generally made up of a steel with the reinforced concrete. The next one is a spillway. It is nothing but, or it is generally provided to discharge the flood water, or it is generally a passage for the dam, or you may say that the discharge of the flood water, and to keep the level of the water below the designed maximum level. Means what it is nothing but the outlet. Next one is the major part again, that is the hydraulic turbine. Hydraulic turbine converts the hydraulic or water energy into the mechanical energy. The hydraulic turbine consists of again the runner, or you may say that wheel with a number of curved vanes on the periphery. A water turbine can be set horizontal or the vertical. The next one is a draft tube. Draft tube is a passage which connects the exit from the turbine runner down to the tail race water level. And what is tail race? Tail race is a discharge canal through which the water is discharged from the turbine. And the last one is a powerhouse. That is, it consists of a hydraulic and electric equipment where the water energy is converted into the electrical energy. So these are the major components of the power plant. Now the next is a operation of the hydroelectric power plant. The water from the reservoir flows through the penstock to hydraulic turbine, and during the passage its potential energy is converted into the kinetic energy. The high velocity of jet of water strikes on turbine vanes where its kinetic energy is converted into the mechanical energy. A generator which coupled to a hydraulic turbine convert the mechanical energy into the electrical energy. So here electricity generates is controlled by governing mechanism which is attached to a hydraulic turbine and which controls the quantity of the water. Next is, what are the advantages and the disadvantages of the hydroelectric power plant? So the advantages of the plant is, first, low running cost. Its running cost is very low as compared to the other power plant. Second one, short stopping and starting time. Means what? It takes a few minutes to run to synchronize the plant, and so starting time required is very less. Also the stopping of these plants takes very short time as compared to the other plants. Third one is a no waste disposal problem. In some power plants there is a disposal problem, so these plants have no waste disposal problem such as ash or other one. Next is a high efficiency and larger life. These plants have a very high efficiency and the larger life, comparatively 100 to 125 years. And the last one is a high reliability. The plants are highly reliable as compared to the other plants. There are also some disadvantages for this plant. The first one is the initial cost of the plant is very high. Its initial cost is very high. That is the major disadvantage of this plant. And the second one is it need more time for the erection and the installation. And third one, the hydroelectric plants generally located in hilly areas far away from the load center, and so they require long transmission lines to supply the power. Therefore, the transmission losses are more. Transmission losses are increases, which increases the cost of power per unit transmitted. Finally, it increases the cost. So generally this is one of the, again, the major disadvantage of the power plant, or you may say that the hydroelectric power plant. So thank you for this. The remaining part of the chapter will cover in the next lecture. Thank you.